takes a lot of motivation to begin to really shine a light on our stories and to be able to start opening to what's underneath them. It takes courage. Kind of, I like the language of Mark Nepo, the poet, who's described it as an exquisite risk. To become more intimate with truth means we take the exquisite risk of going underneath the stories. I'm actually really fascinated by watching my mind and watching how often there is some background of a story that I wasn't conscious of that's affecting my sense of things. So Monday morning, as I've described often in my talks, I have a ritual of going right down and hiking by the river, the Potomac River. And then I often will do a standing meditation by the river, sit on some rocks. And I got still, and I encountered this huge wave of fatigue, and it's been really chronic. I've had, for several weeks now, I've just been aware of consistent fatigue at a more intense and oppressive level than usual. So my mind started circling around with the typical, what's causing this? How come it's happening? And what do I need to do about it? And so on. And then I watched that, and because I was officially meditating, I was standing there trying to meditate, I went, okay, I'm talking to myself here. And what's the story? And what's the real assumption here in the story? And the assumption was that I'm caught in something bad right now. Something bad is happening. And it shouldn't be happening. It's like a bad thing to be happening. And I'm in some way complicit, like I caused it in some way. So just a comment that, again, these fear-based thinking has an undercurrent of no, this shouldn't be happening. No, this is wrong. No, I'm wrong. This is bad. It shouldn't be. Okay, so there I am, and underneath, so I say, okay, a story, and there's a lot of no's around it. It shouldn't be happening. What's actually going on? Got into my body, and I was feeling that weighty, achy, I feel when I'm really fatigued, kind of like a pain or pressure in my heart. It's just real weighty. My mind's fuzzy. It's unpleasant. So I just say, okay, unpleasant. And there's a little more quiet and a little more kind of opening into a witnessing versus the oppressed, beleaguered, fatigued self. That's the beginning of a shift. But then thinking again, and the thinking went, yeah, but if I don't pay attention to this, I won't take the steps to fix it. And so I really have to pay attention in order to fix it. And then there's another part of me that goes, you can spend time thinking about it and fixing it, but you're way, way overdoing that, because we go way beyond the need. So, okay, then quieting again. And just sensing, okay, it feels oppressive, it feels unpleasant, and more, the who I was the awareness, witnessing, and just sensing, oh, this is hard. This being, this organism's struggling right now. So with that witnessing, there was kindness, just a bit of compassion. The question comes up, if nothing's wrong, if there's no story of something being wrong, then what's here? And you can ask yourself that. You can ask yourself that right now, because it's really right at the heart of what we're looking at. If we step out of any story that something's wrong with how things are, they should be different, then what's here? What we find is it might be unpleasant, it might be intense, but the identification with it dissolves, and there's a sense that we're resting in an awareness that can include what's here in this moment. That's the freedom. The clear revelation for me on Monday morning was that as long as there was any undercurrent of a story that I shouldn't be feeling this, there was no way to have compassion. If you're making something wrong, there's no space for that tenderness to arise.